The moment I cracked my gate remote, and the HOA president realized this dusty old road they tried to regulate is actually a federal right-of-way documented in 1963. Yes, that is coming. I live on an old ranch outside Santa Rosa, New Mexico. Folks don't really get this place if they're not from here. Deserts here are not empty. They are layered. Scars of the Santa Fe Railroad, missile test corridors, cattle corridors, BLM corridors. This land is older than any real estate brochure HOA has ever printed in their life. But last year, some new rich developers from out east bought 500 acres along the highway and master planned a gated desert community. You know the type, glossy renderings, all glass, all Instagram friendly. And instantly the HOA hallucination started. Overnight, they decided MY North Ranch Road is now part of our community design. They said they will be adding private co-controlled access for safety. Bro, literally. They printed a pamphlet that included MY Road as a feature. They didn't ask permission. They didn't check the county index. They didn't check BLM overlays. They didn't even call the surveyor who originally charted this basin. They just assumed because it's a road in the desert, it must be theirs to control. The ego was cinematic. I told them 100 times, face-to-face, calm. This road predates your entire HOA concept. This corridor is in federal inventory. But they didn't hear English. They only hear what fits their little governance committee imagination. So one morning I wake up, go to the gate, and there's a fresh, new, shiny HOA padlock wrapped around my chain like a trophy. Their padlock. On my gate. On a federally registered corridor. That's when I decided we're going to document this. We're going to let them dig their own grave smiling. What they didn't know. I already had the annotated BLM plat PDF printed, laminated, time-stamped, certified. The dry arroyo line. The crosshatch. The corridor index code. 1963. I keep originals in the old ammo can under the saddle rack. Because out here, paper proves everything. Paper emotion. Paper HOA board fantasies. Paper fancy silver padlock. That's the scene. This is where we are. I'm by the barn, fixing the cattle chute hinges. Sun still low. Coffee not even finished. And I hear this convoy rolling up from the south track. 3 glossy SUVs, fresh dealer plates, all matching trim, like they're filming a brochure. They park right at my gate, like they came to stage a takeover scene in a movie. First dude out is wearing some half-ranch cosplay hat. He's standing like he's the sheriff of a Netflix pilot. Second lady has that HOA clipboard with tabs. Third guy is holding a ring of keys like janitor of the desert. They don't greet. They announce, "We're here to affix HOA access control for security." I said nothing. I literally just stared at them. Because sometimes silence is the sharpest blade. They thought silence equals weakness. So they doubled down. Lady Clipboard starts explaining the charge. The access road that crosses through this undeveloped parcel is now designated community ingress and egress. All HOA members will get the app code for the gate. That one line told me everything. They never ran a search. They never called county. They never checked BLM inventory. They literally decided the desert is theirs because they printed a PDF. I calmly asked, "Who authorized the lock to be attached to the specific gate?" And the guy with the key ring goes, "We did." No hesitation. No fear. That's how deep the delusion goes. And then the clipboard lady goes, "We're trying to keep everyone safe. There's been unknown vehicles in the area." Unknown vehicles? Ma'am, that's called New Mexico. Everything looks unknown to people who never stepped off pavement. Here is the core logic these people operate on. If the landscape looks wild, they think it's free real estate. They think wild equals unowned. They think old equals obsolete. They think out here equals they can plant HOA authority like a flag. But this corridor wasn't wild. This corridor wasn't unowned. This corridor wasn't obsolete. This corridor was federal, written in ink, in 1963, on paper older than every birth certificate in that SUV convoy. And now they're standing at the gate like they're doing me a favor. This was the moment where I realized they have no idea what they're poking to You know when you feel your blood pressure rising, but you're still calm enough to enjoy the stupidity? That was this moment. Clipboard lady taps her pen like she's signing treaties and goes, "We'll be applying a padlock now." I said, "Who exactly is we?" Because we is a very expensive pronoun when you're standing on soil you don't own. Keyring dude steps forward and actually reaches out toward my gate chain, like his hand was deputized by some suburban constitution that only exists in their homeowner WhatsApp group. And this is where I got real surgical. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't threaten. I didn't posture. I opened my left saddlebag and pulled out a laminated 1963 BLM Plaid overlay, the one with the arroyo hash line that marks this corridor as federal access. I held it chest level, not waving it, not shaking it, just letting the paper exist like a judge exists in a courtroom. Clipboard lady's eyes flicked to the stamp, and I saw the first crack in her armor. She whispers to Hat Guy, "That's a federal imprint." And the man nods, but his ego rushes him into one last stupid decision. That doesn't override HOA governance. Bro, I swear to God this desert took a half-breath for dramatic effect. Because that sentence right there is the exact moment reality split. So I smiled, this chill, sarcastic. "I warned you, smile." I didn't argue. I didn't educate. I didn't debate governance philosophy with a man who buys belt buckles off Amazon. I simply said, "Watch this, Chief." I reached into my back pocket, pulled the smart gate remote, pressed a single button, and the gate motor did its long, slow, metal, groaning slide, the one that screams. I am legal. I am authorized. I was here before your HOA existed. Their faces froze. Because in that instant, that physical act, that gate moving, was a legal sentence. You can't move a gate you don't own. You can't operate a corridor you don't control. And they finally realized something brutally simple. They don't even own the ground they came to regulate.